Okay, here's the integrated one. Mini lecture goes with 9.3.1 to 9.3.3. We're working on this packet during your testing times, so I was going to do number 1. So again, we're doing inequalities. There's some other videos about this if you want to look on my YouTube channel. This time it's a system of equations, so there's two, this happens to be two lines, two linear equations, and so we're going to graph them, and they'll probably cross at some point, and then we'll do some shading on them. So it isn't too different than what we were doing before. There's x and y. So these are both in y equals mx plus b form. So on the top equation I see b is -4. That's my y-intercept, it's my starting point, so I'll just go, there's b, and then my slope is 3, so I go up 3, I can put a little 1 under it if I want to. Up 3 over 1, right? So go up 1, 2, 3 over 1. Okay, I do have a straight edge now. I got one, so here, some of you guys like to keep going up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1. You can keep going if you want to, or you can just use the 2 points if you're sure. I shouldn't have made it solid. I should have made it a dashed line because I didn't have that little underline thing right there, so I'll fix that before I forget. I know, tell me to pay attention. I had to pay attention. It is kind of hard to draw the dashes with using the straight edge anyway, though, so I might have ended up doing it this way anyway. Okay, now that one wants me to shade above because it says y is greater than, but I'm going to refrain from shading above. I'm going to write above, right near it, and then this one's going to be below because it says less than. But I don't want to do my shading yet. I'm going to kind of refrain, or no, I know, I'll do my shading, but I'll do it super lightly, okay? So I'm going to shade above it, but I'm going to do it very lightly. And then wherever the shading from the next line overlaps with this shading, then I'm going to make it really, 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 really dark, because that'll be my solution area. Okay, so this is just another y equals mx plus b. It's got positive 5 is the starting point one, or you can call that it's the y-intercept. And then this one goes down 2 over 1, because it's a negative sign, so it goes down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. Now this isn't going to be perfect because I didn't use graph paper. At least I used a ruler, but I didn't use graph paper. So I don't think, they're not asking like for an ordered pair or anything, so it's kind of okay that I don't have the graph paper. They just want me to show the solution set. So this one I said I had to go below the line. Below the line. Where is below? Below is actually going to be kind of like that. That's below the line. Okay, because it's where the smaller y values are. So where is it double shaded? I think not there, not there, not there. It's double shaded over in this area. So I'm going to make it really, really dark. So there's different people have different styles. Some people just refrain from shading until they find out where it's going to be. Like some people might look at it and go, oh, well, I know it's above the first line and it's below the second line, so I'm not going to shade until I get both lines in there. That way they don't have a messy paper. If you look in your book, they just use some double shading. See, they shaded like above this curve and below that line, and they just show the double shaded area. So you can do it, you know, however you see fit. Actually, some of these, see the answers in the back over here, see they didn't show the double shading. They just kind of refrained from shading them until they knew exactly where the region was, but it's right there. Okay, so that was number 1. Here's I wanted to also do number 5. I just picked number 5 because I've seen a lot of kids get kind of confused on these ones for some reason. I probably used to get confused on them too. y is less than 3. And no one ever knows what to do with this thing. You guys probably know though. 1/2 x plus 2. So this really is a line, but it has a slope of 0. This is like y equals 0x plus 3. Okay, so really it's just going to be, if that's the y-axis and there's the x-axis, it's just going to be this horizontal line. Look, I noticed. I'm going to actually make a dotted line and not have to take all this extra time. It's going to be a dashed line here. So I'm going to make it dashed the first time around instead of remembering later after I already made a solid line. Oh, that looks horrible though. It's supposed to look like it's parallel with the axis. That's y equals, or y is less than 3. So I know it's going to get shaded under or below. So down there somewhere. This one is, again, this is just a y equals mx plus b. Here's the b is at 2. It's going to go up 1 over 2. This one's also going to be not a solid line. It's going to be a dashed line. Whoa. Okay, there's the dashed line. And this one I'm going to shade above because it says greater than. Okay, so it's above and below. It's going to be in this area, right? It's going to be right here. See, I refrained from the double shading. I want it below this horizontal line and above the slanty line. So it's kind of like that. And then we can check in the answer book and see if it even looks like that. Here's number 5. Theirs is drawn on a nicer, they scaled theirs a little different. Theirs is nicer. Anyway, but this is okay. So that was number 5. I think I can still do another problem or 2 before my time runs out. I think I would just like to do number 8. Maybe that'll be sufficient. Hopefully I can get through it. Y is less than 2 to the x plus 3. And then y is greater than or equal to, oh, that's number, you know what, we're going to do number 9. Let's do number 9. I just started writing down number 9, so I'm just going to go with it. Okay, there's number 9. These are 2 exponentials, and that's okay. This one's actually probably the harder of the problems, because the exponentials, they take a little bit longer to graph. So for the top one, here's x and y. If I'm just going to plot some points really fast because I am running low on time. So if x is 0, then 2 to the 0 would be 1 plus 3, that's 4. And if x was 1, 2 to the 1 would be 2 plus 3 is 5. If x was 2, 2 squared is 4. That would give me 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, comma 5, 2, comma 7. I'm going to fake the rest of it, okay? Well, no, maybe I'll use -1. Okay, -1. If I put 2 to the -1, that would be a half plus 3. That would be, I think, that'd be a half plus 3. 1/2. Well, it's 3 1/2. Right, so, I feel like faking it so I can get done with the video before my time limit's over. I'm going to have part 3, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and close this out and then we'll do part 3. Or sorry, part 2. So look for part 2. We're going to finish this problem and maybe do number 8.